guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. Now, we are already 4 months into 2020, which means we are basically 1/3 of the year done. And it's kind of insane because the whole month of April, today is the last month of April for me, April 30th. The whole month of April, I have been indoors for the most part. I went out like 3 times for groceries, and that's about it. And it's insane to think about that. And yeah, I just really want to go out again. I'm really going insane. But I figured, you know what? We're now 1/3 of the way into 2020. It's time for a garage update. So today's going to be a garage tour. I'm going to show you what my garage is and you know, how it has evolved since the last garage tour, which I think I did last year, 2019 in December. I know I did a couple smaller garage reviews, like my GE garage or my American Dream garage. Those are more in-depth and they focus on less cars. This one's more broad and it's going to go by a lot faster. For those that are interested in, you know, some of the quirky things in my garage, all the new cars that have come a long way, and of course, you know, what I have in my garage right now, this will be the video for you. Also, I'm going to be timing this video because, you know, as my garage gets bigger and bigger, each garage each garage tour of mine is going to get longer and longer, and I don't want this to end up being a 50-minute video, so I'm going to time myself and pace myself. Hopefully it wouldn't be too long, keeping it under 30 minutes. So with that said, let us start off with the Commons. Commons is the one that changes the least from garage tour to garage tour, because I hate Commons. I don't really give a damn about them. The only thing that's really new here is this Type 2, and I think like these other two Type 2s, the 1970 and the 79 ones, and then, you know, the rest of this is about the same. The GE ones you probably would have seen from the GE tour, but the Lotus 7, the SS100. A lot of people are asking me why I have this SS100. It's pretty simple. I just like the car. I never use it. As you can see, I've had it for 93 days, 61 races, with a win ratio of just under 50%. Moving on, here are the rest of my Commons. Nothing too amazing here. These Smart 42 EVs Hutch, please Hutch, tell me I don't need them anymore, because I don't want them in my garage. They are so ugly. I hate them. And obviously, you know, I have OCD, and you know, cars are either maxed or nothing, and it's annoying me that these cars aren't maxed and every other car I have is maxed. Let me just show you real quick. My total garage has 767 cars, 43 common, 72 uncommon, 109 rare, 230 super rare, 192 ultra rare, 87 epic, and 34 legendary. In terms of cars that are fully upgraded, I have 108 rares, which means there's only one rare which is not max, and that is the Lancia prize car, because I never really needed a use for it. I am slowly maxing it out though because of my OCD. And then when it comes to commons, all my commons are max besides those 5 smarts. With that said, that basically rounds out all of the commons. Nothing else is really new. All these commons you saw from the last garage tour hasn't really changed. Just the new GE ones like the Land Rover Series 1 and the Opel GT, the Aston Martin Signet. Nothing too special for me to talk upon. Anyway, moving on to uncommons. There are quite a bit of new additions to this one. Starting off is the Mercedes-Benz V250. This is a car recommended by my dad, Leo. He said if you get this 996, it is a great car for the hill climb. He is indeed correct. 6.60 to 60, it's high ground clearance as well as standard tires. It's actually a pretty decent low RQ hill climber. Some other good ones would be the Vauxhall HP Forenza, which is a car I highly recommend, 969, these are the stats. 81 handling for a RQ7 car is always good, considering that is also medium. Moving on, talking about OCD, I have all the XK150s, all 8 of them, all maxed out, literally because it's maxed out or nothing, and I just didn't feel like selling them. And these cars, you know, unlike the smart EVs, they don't look horrendous, so I don't mind keeping them in my garage and maxing them out. So moving on, a lot of these are just about the same. The Opel Kadett GTE is relatively new. As you can see here, owned it for less than a month, 66 races, very low win ratio. However, it's one of those good cars that will soften the blow. It's kind of an RQ saver that softens the blow when it comes to you know, high RQ racing, all that. So I can put in 4 high RQ cars, then I just throw in the Kadett to just save RQ. So it's good in that, and I do appreciate having that car. Definitely recommend that. moving on, nothing too special. You guys have seen this already. Well, I say nothing too special, but then we're in the Aston Martin section. I do love the DB5s. You guys might already know I have 5 maxed out DB5s. Most of them, I think, are 996, and then this one is 969. I also have a Aston Martin DBS as well as a DB4, and later we'll see the DB6. Everything here, though, you see is completely the same. The 5 Defender 110s, the Schumacher's been there forever, the Mustang 289s. Some of you might have realized that both my Mustang 289s were actually 699, never 699, an uncommon. This was like, I've had this car forever, right? 950 days, guys. This is a really, really old car. Wow, 950. But yeah, it's just a really, really old car, and I just really wanted to max out its handling, give it the best handling it possibly could, and that's why I 699'd it a long time ago. This one, I actually 969'd it, and this one isn't very old. This one is actually quite new. Only had it for 87 days. In fact, I actually had 2 699. I sold one of the 699s. I'm keeping this one just because, you know, I've had it forever, and then and this one is also 969 just because, you know, it's correct. Anyway, moving on, I have 3 S10 Blazer Extremes. I love this car. I would highly recommend it. I use it a lot in clubs. Good handling. I was gonna say kinda, but you know, decent 0 to 60 and medium ground clearance. So definitely, it's kind of like the uncommon Murray. And then the Volkswagen Up GTI, more of the same old, more of the same old. The 3 Unices, the 3 Indies, the 2 twin cams. I think this one is new, the Ford Escort RS Turbo. I maxed this out for the UK Championships for Hampshire. Never used it. Never really used this car, but yeah, as you can see, 149 races, 68% win ratio, which is actually pretty decent win ratio, but I barely use that, but I don't want to sell it either. The days of me selling maxed cars are over, especially with RQ100 coming to Top Drives. Every car is going to be more useful than ever, and that's why I want to keep as much as I can. Unless it's French, I'm probably not going to sell it. So, moving on to the rares, we're about 6 minutes in here. We have some, you know, decent showing. You guys have seen all of these cars before. The Opel Insignia Country Tour is a car that I'm actually a fan of. It has very strong handling for RQ11. It's medium and it has standard tires. So definitely recommend that. You could pick this up as well. The Opel Mantas, honestly, just pick up any new GE Opel. Any great exhibition Opel, do pick it up because these cars are actually very, very good. And I think I have 5 or 6 great exhibition Opel rares alone I have maxed out. We see 3 over here, and we'll see a bit more in a bit. So a lot of things, a lot of changes in the rare department because of championships. So I have a lot of new rare cars like the DS3 convertible, which I know some people might be thinking, why haven't I sold it yet? I don't think I am actually going to sell it just because I know it's going to be useful in clubs somewhere down the line, and that goes for all the rares that I maxed out, including the Cut Jar and the Abarth. This car was a car I never planned to max out actually, but after maxing it out for the Italian Championships, I really come to like this little guy. This is a very good car. I would highly recommend it to anyone that doesn't have it. 85 handling, decent 0 to 60, decent top speed, and medium, and of course it is a very light boy. Not Caterham light, but you know, it's still light, under 1,200. Moving on, here are 2 more Opel Mantas, 400 rallies. I would recommend keeping this car around just because, you know, it has rally in the name. So eventually I feel like Hudge would give it off-road tires because it should have off-road tires. It's an off-road car. It should have off-road tires. It's a rally car. So yeah, if it gets off-road tires, imagine 5, 6, 8, 7. It's not going to be as good or maybe equal to the Datsun, and I can see this being maybe an RQ17 or RQ18 super rare because I think the Datsun is 5989. Or maybe it's 4989. I actually can't really remember, but definitely maybe if the Datsun is 49, then this would be maybe an RQ16 or RQ17 super rare off-roader. But definitely keeping these 2 around. If I get a 3rd one, I might keep that, max that out as well. Maybe have 5 maxed out. You never know. Give it the Pontiac Firebird treatment. This one's pretty new here. The Chevrolet Impala SS. Just want to talk on this really briefly. Have it 996 because it has very strong MRA. So you know, very useful. I actually found really good use for it yesterday in clubs. clubs, because yesterday in clubs there were low RQ saloon events, drag, and it was made for that event. You know, it's low RQ, it's a saloon, it's a dragster, it's a great car. So 996 that it has decent handling, also has decent handling and has decent 0 to 60, very good MRA. So it's a decent fast circuit car as well. So moving on, some other new ones, the Cadillac Sedan DeVille. I got this recently just because I was like, why not? You know, just let's make the American garage even stronger. Some other new ones like the i3, the X1, the E-Space, along with the 911 2.4 Targa, and of course my 6 maxed out Pontiac Firebirds. Moving on, you know, Islero, Stealth, same old really. Some new faces in here, mainly because of championships once again. The Opals, we have the Opal GT Concept. I think that rounds out all the new Opals I have in here. Another new car that I got is the Mercedes-Benz E220. No particular reason to why I really wanted to get this in terms of, you know, bolstering performance. It's not really the best performing rare, standard rare. I still prefer to use, where is it? My Chevrolet Malibus, as well as the Pontiac, I think it's the Pontiac SSEI right here, the Bonneville. I prefer using these cars, but I just really wanted to just have more Mercedeses. I just wanted to bolster the Mercedes hand. My low range Mercedes deck was very, very weak, so I decided just to add him in there just to make it, you know, a bit more diverse. So anyway, let's move on to super rares now. We see a lot of the same here with some Aston Martins rounding it up. Love those cars. So super rares, I'm gonna move through super rares really quickly as we approach the 11-minute mark. I have been maxing a lot of super rares recently. I know, crazy, because of the whole RQ100 thing coming along. A lot more super rares are going to be a lot more useful. So because of that, I've been, you know, maxing out, you know, quite a bit. Within the past 2 days, I've maxed out about 4 super rares, including the Mazda Yota. That's going to be number 4. So I guess you can say I maxed out 3 and I'm working on the Yota right now. That's going to be a good car for the qualifiers coming up for the Lamborghini Urus as well. So that's why I'm maxing it out right away. So most of it is mostly just fused material. Any car you see here that isn't maxed is fused material, unless it's a prize car, like this SZ. I don't like this car. I don't like how it looks. It looks like if a cheese and a tomato had a baby. That is what it would look like. The only reason why I have it locked is because it's a prize car. You can't get it again, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, some other good cars here. Let's see, the Opel Insignia. I like the rare version, and I like the super rare version as well. Although it did get a downgrade, it used to be RQ18. I still genuinely kind of like this car. It's medium and has good handling and decent 0 to 60 and top speed of a whole over 155. So yeah, not bad at all. So moving on, I got 2 maxed out Opel GTs. We're going to see a lot of just me having 2 maxed out of a lot of the same cars. 2 maxed out C2R2s, 2 maxed out K5 Blazers. I recently maxed this out today. Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z. Needed this maxed out forever just because I never had an American super rare low RQ that was medium. So yeah, super rare low RQ, which means RQ 1560, because the only other American super rare I have that's performance tires is the Hemi Cuda. So moving on is the Chevrolet Camaro IROC Z28. This is another car I feel like I've had forever, since the start of American Dream. 560 days, I've had this thing for a while. Moving on, nothing too new here around. This is all about the same. 2 maxed out R21 Turbo Europa Cups. 1 I've had maxed out forever, 1 I maxed out for championships. Moving on, 968, 3 911 2.7s. This car, so much praise for this car. If you are struggling in the German championships, in the German levels for championships, I would definitely recommend the 911 S 2.7. I feel like I used this car on 7 out of 10 of the races. That is how versatile this thing is. It combines decent handling with low 0 to 60 for a standard tire car, with standard tires, decent RQ, and it has medium ground clearance. I remember when this car used to be like RQ 13, 14 rare, and now it's 17. Oh, I love to see the glow up. Another car that's on my list to max out is the Pontiac Grand Prix GXP. So moving on, we got the Plymouth Superbird, one of my, well, it is my favorite super rare, one of my favorite cars of all time. I hope this car gets the silver screen tag. It should. The king from Disney Pixar Cars, which is my favorite movie, deserves the silver screen tag. Moving on, we got the XJS Trans Am, Euro P400. This one I maxed out yesterday, which is one of the other new super rares. I maxed out the Chrysler 300 5279. Just no real reason. Just it's been a car I've been wanting to max for a while. I've also wanted to max a second ELR as well as a second Buick Regal Turbo, and that's why I have those cars around. That said, though, they aren't locked, so they're also fused at the same time. But you know, I just know when I have to to fuse into it, when I put upgrades into an Ultra, I'll just know, oh, I won't use the Buick, I won't use the ELR, blah, blah, blah. And then now, moving on to Astons. There were a lot more Astons than you see now, especially from opening 15 carbon fibers. Obviously, you've only seen 8 of them. Sorry, I accidentally deleted the video. I'm actually very sorry. But yeah, so I've decided just to keep 4 of each. So now I got 4 V8 Vantages, 4 V8 Coupes, and 4 DB7s. I think before this, I had like 7 of each, and then I put some fuses into some Ultras, so some of them are gone now. And now we move on to what I like to call Noah's Ark. Because I feel like I have a double of every RQ18 Ultra. So let's have a look. We got 3 Turex, 2 Tiguans, 3 VX220s, 3 TVR 400 SEs. I had 2 Astras, but I recently fused one. 2 Rally Specs, 3 Clio Cup cars. I had 5 and I fused 2 of them. 2 R20 turbos. This one I maxed out like 3 days ago, so that's a pretty recent one as well. And then Boxer, Alaskan. Oh, this one I maxed out 3 days ago as well. So I have maxed out like 4 super rares. The X-Trail, right? I like this car just because it's a super rare that is all surface and 4-wheel drive that goes up to 86 handling. It's not as good as the Subaru Levorg 7186, and this one is 8286, but this has high ground clearance, so I guess it's only useful in like motocross super rare events. It's very niche, but I just really wanted to max out this car. I actually kind of like how it looks. I like the picture, and it's red, and that's my favorite color. Anyway, moving on to Noah's Ark, right? I got 2 GLAs, 2 Outlanders, I got 5 RX-7s, and I think 6 Lotus Elise Sprints. These cars are really good. I am planning to max out a 3rd one. There are actually a lot of super rares I'm planning to max out, but they're not really high priority. It's kind of just like, oh, I know it's good to have them because they're going to be useful for clubs kind of situation. But, you know, it's not like I need them now. 3 Elise 111s, 3 Discovery 5s, 2 Integrales, 4 Rambo Lambos, 2 XKR 100s. I had like 3 XK convertibles, but I fused 2 of them. And of course, 14 D-types. Let's go. And then we have GMC Yukon, 2 GMC Yukons, right? Honda Accord, another car on my list I want to max out because it has, I think, a pretty low 0 to 60 for a standard tire car. 2 Wild Rubuses, 6 Datsuns, 4 Suburbans. I want to get 5 Suburbans and lock them all. Why I want to max out 5 Suburbans is because so I can just make a deck and call it FBI. I think that would be so cool. That's down the list of prioritization though, because you know me, I don't like maxing out super rares, and I never have rares anyway. 2 CTSs. This one I maxed out wrong. It's actually 699, and it hasn't really done me very well. It's lost about every race. Here we go, 53% win ratio, 815, but I've owned it forever, 156 days. But I don't... I will sell this eventually. But that's only if I get this to 969, and I'm not going to get that to 969 anytime soon because the ELR is better. And as you can see, I'm actually scrolling back a bit because there was one thing I forgot to talk about that I want to talk about. Something I didn't talk about that I want to talk about really quickly is the Subaru Legacy right here. It's my oldest car in the garage. I just want to see what it's at. 966. 966 days. I can't wait to finally have a garage that is 1,000 days old. Anyway, let's skedaddle. I want to get this video under 30 minutes, right? We got about 10 minutes to go. So let's finish off with the Noah's Ark here. We got 2 28i's, 3 Air Thicks, and that's about it. So let's move on to Ultra Rares, my favorite rarity in terms of putting upgrades into. My favorite rarity in the whole game is epics. I know a lot of people would think it's legendary, but it's actually epics. But ultra rare, I call this the noodle of the garage. The ultra rares to every player's Top Drives garage is like noodles or pasta to everybody's diet. It's the carbs, it's the starch, it's the energy, it's what you need to keep you going, or if you want to take it up a notch, this is like water. Ultra rares is like water. It's so useful. These are the ones that win you legendary prize cards. In a sense that, you know, these are the lowest ranking cars you could fit into a Tri-Series event to get some kind of good result, and also because they are food for epics, and epics are the ones that win you prize cars. But without ultra rares, your epics are nothing, and without epics, your ultra rares are at least still something. So ultra rares are very, very useful. So let me show you what I got. First of all, I want to talk about this boy, the Peugeot RCZ-R. Now, you know me, I hate Peugeots. I hate French cars. Everybody knows this. People get annoyed when I say it, so I promise that's the last time I'm going to say it in this video. I've had this around only because I thought I needed it for the championships. I never did. And I actually fused out, I fused a lot of ultra rares that I would have fused this over, but I've kept this around just because for championships, and it turns out I never really needed it, so I'm going to fuse that as soon as I can. But yeah, 3 maxed out Elise 135s, love this car. The Opal Adam R2 is a new boy, got this from my 3 million pack opening, and I will be doing another million pack opening very soon, and then followed by another 3 million pack opening somewhere down the line. I know I said I was going to do one soon, but I pushed it back just because I just felt like the time wasn't right. That's my explanation. The time wasn't right. There wasn't just because, you know, during the demon prize car, everything is. It's not like I needed more ultra rare fused material at the time because all I had was the owner's challenge, and I basically finished that in 30 minutes. So yeah, moving on, we got 2 Miras, the Mira S and the Mira SV. I would love to get a second Mira SV. This car is actually very, very good for RQ19. However, that's all gonna change when the new RQ100 scaling system comes along. Jaguar XKR. This is one of those cars I'm on the fence about. I want to max it out because I like the car. I think it is such a cool looking car, such a villain car, and you know, I kind of have sentimental feelings towards this XJR as I do with my RQ19 BMW M3. If you know me, you know that this is like the most useless car I've maxed out, but I love it. I really, really love it. And you know, I had the same feeling towards the XJR, which is just 0.1 faster to 0 to 60 than the M3. So moving on, I have 2 SRT4s. Basically, once again, I only use it for clubs because front wheel drive is the most common requirement in clubs, and this is a good dragster for the front wheel drive events, 4.20 to 60. Moving on to the RQ20s now, we got 2 Desirs. I got an AMG SL73. This is one of those other cars I've had just about forever. 944 days, there you go, almost as old as the Mustang and the Subi. We got 2 Lamborghini Countach LP500s, 2 NSXs, 2 Charger SRT8s, but could have been way more. Let's be real, this is a car that I get time and time and time again, the opposite of the Dodge Nitro, and they're both Dodge and they're both RQ20. If I kept every Charger SRT8, at one point I had 6, if I kept every single one, I would probably have about similar numbers to the Jaguar D-Type. But I don't want to hoard ultra rares, besides I guess the Martini, because you know, these are good fuse. This is good fuse material, man. It's good fuse material. I don't want to fuse it away. I don't want to just keep it there and leave them to rot, since I know I'm never going to use them. Anyway, moving on with the BMW 640D, a car I'm particularly a fan of. I love the picture. Good handling for a medium ground clearance car at 20 RQ as well. We got 4 DB7 Zagatos, 2 DB7 Vantages, 1 I'm going to max out, the other is going to be fuse. I'm going to have a lot of fuse Aston Ultras, let me tell you about that. We got 2 Roof 3400s, and yeah, we're moving on to RQ21 now. So we got my Martini Army. Now, I used to have 7, but I actually fused 1 because, like I said, there's no point in hoarding ultras, because ultras is what makes epics good, and I want my epics to be good. So with that said, you know, I'm hoarding the D-types, which are super rares. That's fine. I'm hoarding the Hellcats, which are epics, and that might hurt my chances with legendaries a bit, but once again, those are Hellcats. I am never fusing or selling a Hellcat. But yeah, so I did get rid of one of my Turbo Martinis, but these 6 Max Martinis, I'm keeping it there for the clout, baby. And I think I have 6 Vipers. I'm not sure though. I might have fused some. I got 3 Skylines, 2 of them maxed out, kind of like a Dodge Neon situation. This car is really strong MRA. I would recommend getting 2 of these. 1 969 or 699. I actually don't know. I haven't tested. I've had this car for a really long time. I could 699 the third one. Could. If I know 699 is better than 969, it probably is. And then obviously 1996. Very, very strong car. Beats the R33 in the drags. I got 3 AMG G63s. Once again, 1996, 1969. 1 Lotus 340R. I would love a second one of those. The XKR, I'm a huge fan of. I don't get to use it a lot, but I'm a huge fan of that. Oh, there we go. I don't have 6 Vipers anymore. I actually only have 3. So I have, you know, 2 of them. I think 1 is 969 and 1 is 699. Yep, the 699, 969. You can tell from the top speed difference. 2 maxed out Dodge Stealths. I just have a lot of maxed out Dodges, right? That seems fair. 3 BMW M5s. The Z4 M Coupe is, you know, this was one of the prizes in the Dodge Demon Finals. Highly recommend that. Love that car. If you got it, if you want it, don't sell it. It's a great car. Moving on, we got 2 N400s, 2 Aston Martin Vantages, 3 3 V8 Advantages, 2 DB3Ss, 1 699, and 1 996. Now let me just tell you right now, the 996 version, the 699 version, which is this one, is better than the 969 counterpart. But for other ultra rare Aston Martins, the 969 is better than the 699. So basically, Aston Martin tip, 969 is better than 699 for all of them that are ultra, besides the DB3S where the 699 is better than the 969. A lot of 6 and 9s, a lot of 9s and 6s. Anyway, Acura NSX, we move on to RQ22, one of my favorite RQ numbers, and we meet up with one of my favorite cars, the Roof BTR, which is next to one of my most hated RQ22s, the Impreza WRX. Never use it really, but yeah, I do love those BTRs. Then we move on to the 924 Carrera GTS Rally, beautiful car, the Boxer Spider, 2 911 RSs, 2 718 Caymans, 2 718 Boxers, 1 911 Carrera, hopefully we'll get 2 of those, 2 Pontiac GXP, just look at that, double, I like that, Noah's Ark, right? We got the Murano GTC, Skyline R33, Evo 4, we got 2 maxed out S63s, this one I think is 699, yep. And then this one is of course 996, because I'm sure when you saw the 699 people were asking, this is a car you're supposed to 996. Don't worry, I have 2 maxed out. Definitely love this X63, even though the picture is wrong. This is not the 2009 S63. But yeah, moving on, we got 2 Exige S1s. I am thinking about maxing out the second one. However, although it's a good car, it still loses to the 340 and the twisty track sets. So really, what I really want is a second Lotus 340. Europa SE, 2 XJs, and I think that's about it. All of these other cars are just about the same. Obviously, we gotta give love to the Chevrolet Tahoe Custom. Love this boy. If it wasn't for him, I would not have gotten the Demon on the first time. Chevrolet Camaro, got 2 of those. M6, I would love a second one. This one I recently maxed out the Bentley Mulsanne Speed, and that's my only maxed out Ultra Bentley actually. And then I recently maxed out an Aston Martin Rapide 969. The Rapide S I have 699, and I do regret that. Haven't gotten a second one. Can you believe it? I've actually never gotten this car from an Aston Martin carbon fiber, and I've opened just about 20 of them now. And yeah, I haven't gotten one back. That one was actually from a British premium pack, if you guys remembered when GE first came out. Anyway, moving on to Epic. We started with the Range Rover V8 23. It's pretty simple. I do love this car very much. Land Rover Defender Works V8, do love that car. Won me the Chiron Sport. Moving on, we got 2 maxed out XT5s, 2 almost maxed out Mustang GTs. One is max and one is I think 1824. Yep, 18 out of 24. We got my maxed out DB3 Carbon Black Edition, DBS Carbon Black Edition. As you guys might know, I think this is a very strong RQ23. It hits below, it hits above its belt. 3494, very good stats for an RQ23. And when we see in the RQ100 changes, this is actually going to be sharing the same RQ as some RQ24s. Just to put into comparison, right? RQ24, DBS Carbon Black, and the Porsche Cayman GTS, basically almost identical stats. 187, 182, 3434, 9494, 124, 123. The only reason why this is 23 is because this car is pretty heavy, 1526, which is actually light for an Aston Martin, and then the Porsche is 1254, 300 kgs lighter. So moving on, we got 2 Cyclones. Man, I don't know how I feel about the second Cyclone, man. I wanted to fuse this, but then I was so confident it was going to become a legendary, because the 0 to 60 to 60 is wrong. It should be, I think, like 3.8 or 4.0, something like that. Oh, sorry, this is an upgraded one. The actual 0 to 60 is 4.3, or 4.2 actually. So it should be 4.2. So, you know, should be a much faster car. So, you know, hopefully Hutch will fix that, but that's why I'm keeping both of them locked. We got 2 Murrays, F-150, 740D. We got the DBS V12, very, very beautiful car. As you can see, I finally locked it. I locked all my Aston Martins, besides, I think, the white one, and then, which is the Virage. And then I have my RSR, the MG Metro, which is new, the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, which is new. I love the picture on this, but I don't think I'm going to max it out anytime soon, because I have the other FQ360s. I got the Corvette Army that were all 26, and they all went down to 25. I don't know why. I mean, 205, 3.3, 98 for an RQ25, like, that's a strong 25 if you ask me. 191, 3.3, 97, that's a strong 25. I used to think that these were some of the strongest RQ26s. In fact, I actually compared the Grand Sport to the LP500 Gallardo second generation, LP550, sorry, and the BMW M3 CS, because 3098, So yeah, they're very strong RQ25s now. 3098. I know it has no MRA, but still 3098 for an RQ25. There are legendaries that you can max out that won't get those numbers, like the Evora that I have. It's, I think, 3399 maxed out. So yeah, one more handling, but I mean 3033, like, I don't know. The Evora does have MRA though. I got 2 maxed out Z28s. We got the Zagato, the Compressor. This one is next up on the list for epics I want to max. However, I'm waiting for an opportunity to max it. I might not need it for the upcoming finals for the Lamborghini Urus. Obviously, we've got my 911 GT2. As you guys know, this is the 996 version of Porsche. That's like kind of the name that they give to this generation of Porsches, the 996 generation, and it's my favorite generation. In other words, the fried egg headlights. Love them. Absolutely love them. Here are my FQ360s. This one is maxed out on handling, but that's about it, as you can see here. And then the other one right here is fully maxed out 969. This one I'm going to probably 699 whenever I want to. I got 2 maxed out Charger SRT Hellcats, 1 I-Pace. And boys, here we go. We hit 30 minutes, but we're just going to, go with it. We are going to go into Hellcat territory now. All 13 of them, 5 whites and 8 greens. Just look at that screen. Anyway, moving on, we go to RQ26s. I mean, we've been in RQ26 for a while. We got 2 M3 CSs, an M4, M3 GTS, Aston Martin CC100 Speedster. Love this car so much. 88% win ratio at 365 races, as well as the Vanquish Volante. And we move on to the legendaries. So for the legendaries, we got the Evora Sport 410. That's the only new one. And I guess the 911 Turbo that used to be epic, then moved up to legendary. Everything else you have seen until now. The Aston Martin Vanquish Zagato. This is the new one that I got, I think, last week. 10 days ago, so just a little over a week ago. 15 races, 80% win ratio. Moving on, these are once again cars you've always seen. The Zonda F, the Monte Carlo, Hollywood. Gotta love Hollywood. Just shout out to her win ratio, 98% with 2,800 races. This one's new, the Aerial Atom 3.5. You saw me get this in the weekly or the weekend owners challenge. Anything else? Did we pass the Demon already? We haven't, right? We got all the RQ29 Porsches. 12C. There we go, the Demon. Just, Blossom Jr. Anything new about it? Not really. I just maxed it out. So it's my 3rd maxed out legendary. My 2nd maxed legendary I maxed as a legendary because the 911 Turbo is a max legendary, but I maxed it out when it was epic. Here we go. 996, 1.90 to 60, under 2-second gang, 88 handling for a Demon. And then we got 2 RS6 Delimiteds, 1 S8 Plus, M850i that got a huge buff from RQ27 to 29. CTR3 Club Sport, my 918, love that car so much, got that the first time. Huracan Point for Monte, Aventador SV, the Bugatti Chiron Sport, and the Bugatti Veyron 16.4. So that is my garage, and of course I did not mention it, the Lancer Evo 8 FQ400. So that is my garage. What do you think about it? It's obviously, with the whole garage review series, it's not the best garage out there, but I am very proud of it, and I do look back at it from time to time with a smile on my face. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Blossom out.